Now we're going to go through Horse Called War from the 1994 Pride and Glory release. The main riff sounds like this. So we're starting off with a C chord. It's a C chord with G in the bass. We're going to play by barring on the 5th fret of the D, G, and the B strings. And then I'm going to play on the bottom E string, 5, 4, 3, open string, back to the 3rd fret. So here's what we've done so far. And we're going to play that 2 times. Now I'm going to take that C shape and I'm going to slide it up 2 frets to D, back down to C, up to D, back down to C. So if we put that with the riff that came just prior, it sounds like this. So that's the first half of this main riff. The second half sounds like this. So we start off with the same riff that we've already done, but we're going to end the phrase by hitting the low E string open, and then we're going to play an E5 power chord. That's played with the open low E, 2nd fret of the A string. So first open string, then the E power chord. Okay, so here's one round of the main riff if we put all of that together. And we do that 2 times in the intro. Now let's take a look at the verse. The verse uses notes from the A blues scale and sounds like this. So here we're going to start off with a pinched harmonic on the 7th fret of the D string, back to the 5th fret of the D string, now down to the A string, 7, 6, 5, 3. Now we're going to play a double stop idea. That's when we play 2 notes at once. 6th fret of the A string along with the 5th fret of the D string. Now on the A string, 5, 3, 5, 3. Down to the low E, 5. Back to the 3rd fret of the A. So far we've done this. This next phrase we're going to learn, we're going to play 2 times. We're going to slide into the 7th fret of the A string, play the 5th fret of the D, slide back 6 to 5 on the A string, and then play the 3rd fret of the A string. Okay, so here's that phrase once again. And we're going to do that twice. Now some more double stops, 7th fret A, 6th fret D, and we move that same shape back 1 fret, and back 1 more fret. And then we go back into the main riff again. So here's what the verse sounds like once again. Now let's try and put some of these pieces together. Let's play the verse one time, main riff one time, verse one time, main riff one time. All right, so there's the verse and the main riff. Now before we get to the chorus, we're going to play the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus sounds like this. So this starts off with the chord affectionately known as the Hendrix chord, also known as E7 sharp 9. So we have the 7th fret of the A string, that's the root note E, 6th fret of the D, 7th fret G, 8th fret B. Put it all together, it's E7 sharp 9. I'm going to play this chord 5 times and then follow with some scratches. So I play 5 times on the E7 sharp 9, and then I'm going to actually play 7 scratches just to keep in the groove there. We do that phrase 2 times. Then we play the chord 1 time, but without the scratches. And then the final time, whereas we've played the chord 5 times, now on the 5th time we're simply going to play the top 2 strings open. Okay, so if we put all that together, here's the pre-chorus. That's the pre-chorus. Now we'll take a look at the chorus. I'll play through it and then we'll break it down. So here we're going to do a picking pattern based around an A minor chord. So we're just going to hold that chord shape. We're going to start by striking the A string open, followed by the high E string open. Then we'll play the 1st fret of the B, followed by the 2nd fret of the G string. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string and do the exact same picking pattern. We back pick the top 3 strings. Now we do the same thing, but the lowest note now will be F. And we'll play that with the thumb on the 1st fret of the low E string. And then we back pick the top 3 strings, as we've done before. Now we're going to play an E5 power chord 2 times, followed by a G power chord 2 times. Okay, if you're not familiar with that G power chord, what I'm doing is I'm playing 3rd fret low E, muting the A string with my middle finger so that I don't hear that A string ringing. Then I have the open D, open G, 3rd fret on the top 2 strings. Okay, and we're going to play that whole round 2 times, and that'll be the entire chorus. So let's play it now. And there's the chorus. Now let's take a look at the solo. The solo starts off with a break. The band stops and we have some guitar fills here. We're starting in the key of A, and the first fill goes like this. So I'm starting off on the high E string, sliding 8, 10, back to 8, pulling off to the 5th fret. Now play 8, pull off to 5 again on the high E, 8 on the B, 5 on the high E. So far we've done this. Now a similar idea, starting on the B string, slide 8 to 10, back to 8, pull off to 5. Strike the 8th fret, pull off to the 5th fret on the B string. 7 G, 5 B. So far we've done this. Now we're going to bend up a full step from the 7th fret of the G and then grab the 5th fret on the B, 5th fret on the high E. 8, pull off to 5 on the B string. 7 G, 5 B. Now we bend up a full step from the 7th fret of the G string, release the bend, pull off to the 5th fret of the G string. Now we're going to play 7 on the D string, 5 on the G string. Okay, and if we put all of that together, that's our first run. Okay, here's the next run. So starting on the low E string, we're going to play 3, 4, 5. On the A string now, 3, 4, 5, 3. Back to 5 on the low E. Now on the A string, 3 to 5 and then slide up to 7. D string, 5, 7. Back to 7 on the A string. 5 D, 7 on the A string. So far we've done this. Now to the G string, 5, 6, 7, back to 7 on the D string. Now to the G string once again, 5, 6, 7. Now we're going to bend up a full step from the 7th fret of the G string, grab the B string and play 5, 8, pull off back to 5. And we end this run by bending on the 7th fret of the G, up a full step, back down, pull off to the 5th fret on the G string. So once again, here's the whole second run. Now at this point of the song, the whole band kicks in, and we're going to move up a whole step. So now we're going to be soloing in the key of B. And here's what the phrase sounds like in the key of B. Okay, so the idea here is I'm going to bend on the 9th fret of the G string while holding the 10th fret on the top 2 strings. Just hit all 3 of those strings together. The bend on the 9th fret of the G will be a full step. And I'm just going to strike that a couple of times, and then I'm going to do this trick with the toggle switch that you can do when you have any kind of configuration like you have with the Les Paul, where you can turn off the volume on one of the pickups. So what I have is the volume is all the way up on the back pickup, and then I've turned the volume off on the front pickup. So now I can just take the toggle switch and toggle in between the front and the back pickup, and it creates this effect. Okay, so then we're just going to release the bend on the 9th fret of the G string and then come back and play the 7th fret of the G string. Now at this point, we're going to play a unison bend. While holding the 7th fret on the high E string, I'm going to bend from the 10th fret of the B string up a full step. Then we're going to play 7 on the high E, 10, pull off the 7 on the B. Now to the 10th fret of the high E string, we're going to bend up a full step, and then we're just going to keep on pushing another half step. And then we're going to come back down to the 10th fret of the high E string. Now we're going to play 7, 10 on the high E. Back to the 7th fret, hammer onto the 10th, pull off to the 7th. 10 on the B. 7, 10 on the high E string. And then we end this section by bending a full step from the 10th fret of the B string. Now we're going to move up to the key of C sharp. Here's what the solo sounds like in C sharp. So now we're up in 9th position. I'm going to start by bending from the 12th fret of the B string up a full step and then grab 9 on the high E string. Back to 12 on the B string, 9, 12, 9 on the high E, 12, 9, 12 on the B. Okay, continuing on. This next idea we're going to learn, I'm going to play 3 times. There's going to be 12 notes we repeat 3 times. So on the high E string, 9, 12, 9. B string, 12, 9, 12. Now a similar idea, but we're going to play 9, 14, 9 on the high E. 12, 9, 12 on the B. Okay, so those 12 notes sound like this. And we play those 3 times. Okay, moving on. 9, 12, 9 on the high E. 12, 9, 12, 9 on the B string. 11, 9 on the G. Now we're going to move to the 14th fret of the high E string. We're going to bend up quickly, up a full step, come back down, and then move back up. When we reach the top of that bend, we're going to come back down to the 14th fret of the high E and play this phrase. So here I just quickly bend from the 14th fret of the high E string, up a full step, back down, pull off to the 12th fret, and land on the 14th fret of the B string. And we end this section of the solo by bending a step and a half from the 14th fret of the B string. Then we're going to come back down, pull off to the 12th fret. We play that phrase 2 times and then land on the 14th fret of the B string. When we get back to the 14th fret of the B string, we're going to bend up a step and a half. So let's put all that together. Here's the solo from C sharp once again. At this point of the solo, we're moving to the key of A. We're actually soloing over the chorus progression now. And here's what it sounds like in A. So here we're going to start with some unison bends. First, I'm going to bend into E. I'm going to hold E on the 5th fret of the B and bend into that note from the 7th fret of the G string. So we'll bend up a full step. Move that up 3 frets to G, up 2 frets to A, up 3 frets to C. Now I'm going to bend 19 on the G string, up a full step, grab 20 on the B string, and then back to 19 on the G, and we'll let the G and the B string just ring together. Now I'm going to play 19 to 20 on the G string. And this next 8-note phrase I'm going to play 4 times. So 17, 22, 17, that's going to be a hammer-on and a pull-off on the B string. Back to 20 on the G string. Now I'm going to play 17, 20, 17. That'll be a hammer-on and a pull-off on the B string. 20 on the G string. So those 8 notes once again. And do that 4 times. Now we'll play the 17th fret of the B string. And we end the solo by bending 19 on the G string up a full step while holding 20 on the B string. Well, that's a lot of notes. Let's see if we can put it all together. So here's the entire solo for Horse Called War. And there's the solo for Horse Called War.